Hello, I am Castillo-Perez, a broker here in San Antonio, and today we're going to talk about foreclosures. This segment is brought to you by Su Casa, Su Castillo, and before we get started, I would like to thank our sponsors that follow us to radio and TV. Foreclosures. Basically, there's many ways you can lose your property, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Most people find that the traditional way is that if you don't make your mortgage payments, the bank will close on you, and that is correct. If you don't make it happens a lot more often right now. If you have seen my other videos, we talk about modifications, and if you're going to a modification, most people believe that they shouldn't be making the mortgage payment, and what happens is they think everything's well, and all of a sudden they're hit with a foreclosure letter. Usually it's a process, so you get a pre-foreclosure letter, and then there's a process. So if you go into a foreclosure, you have a lot of time in between. It just doesn't happen that quickly, okay? It depends on the state you're in. In Texas, it happens really fast. Anyhow, basically you could lose your property for your HOAs, which is really big around here. Incredibly, for $150 a year that you have to pay. Some people decide that they don't want to pay, or they forget, or they figure it's not allowed, or it's just they missed it, and maybe there is not enough money to make the payment for the HOA. And what happens is that you get a warning as well. And then, of course, who wouldn't want to get a $150,000 house for $150 HOA? So unfortunately, a lot of people get slapped with an HOA, try to foreclose on them, and then they have to pay the HOA plus the attorney's fees as minimum. In worst case scenario, actually losing the property. The other way that you could lose your property, going with the HOAs, it happens a lot in condominiums. It happens to a lot of people who, unfortunately, something happened, or they're sick, or they're fighting with their spouse, or they're going through a divorce, and none of them want to pay the HOA. And what happens is, all of a sudden, they go ahead and sell the property to someone else, and you don't even know. And of course, if you've been sick in the hospital, and you don't know, you haven't seen your mail, you come to find out that your property has been sold. HOA people in Houston, it happens a lot more than here in San Antonio, but I have seen it happen. And then finally, the last way you could, taxes are big. If you cannot negotiate that much, I mean, they give you arrangements to make payments, but unfortunately taxes are sacred, and if you don't make your property taxes, you could lose your property, and you could find it in a foreclose. So basically, those are the ways that you could lose your property, other than not paying your mortgage. HOAs, taxes, yeah, big. It's not protected. You're not protected. Your creditors, you're protected for your creditors, credit cards, but not from taxes, and not from your HOA, and not from your bank. So please make your payments. You always have the option to make arrangements, so don't let that happen to you. Thank you, and see you next time.